Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here. It is Friday the 11th of January. Thanks again for watching weatherweb.net. As always, the site's get free of charge by the adverts you see around the screen here, so by you coming back, using the adverts, using the site, that's what keeps us free of charge. Now, this forecast is a special forecast. It's the outlook for the next 4 weeks or so. We've got the Japanese Met Agency just come in with their latest prediction, so I want to show you those, and they're looking pretty cool. This is the forecast for week 1, and the British Isles is just underneath here. You can make out there, look, the coasts of Iberia, and we are positioned just underneath here. So this is the forecast running through from its initialization, which was yesterday, so Thursday the 10th, through to Friday the 18th. So this is the forecast for the next week, and you notice how we've still got these above normal heights across Iceland, indicating the high pressure there, low pressure down over the lower heights down over Central Europe, which indicates low pressure at the surface, and a northeasterly flow through the UK, so continuing to stay pretty cool. And you can see that here on the temperature prediction for the next week. The anomaly chart, look, keeps the UK generally in blue colours and takes us down into this sort of -3 excuse me, category. That's 3 degrees below normal for the time of year, so certainly backing up the ideas of it being cool for the next week. Then into week 2, so this is the period running through from Saturday the 19th to Friday the 25th. And what this also shows here, British Isles is underneath here. Excuse me, what this is showing is the continued ridge up towards the north of the country. Here we got lower than normal heights still through central parts of Europe, so little change. We're going to find low pressure kind of zipping its way through here on the jet, and pressure remaining pretty high to the north, with low pressure down here towards the east, and that flow probably coming in more from a north and northeasterly direction. So the cooler air continues, and this is the forecast of anomaly temperatures, and it's gone a little bit cooler. If anything, it's kind of now down into this sort of -3.5 to -2.5 category. So the JMA certainly wanted to keep us cool through to the end of the month. And then this is the forecast which takes us through from Saturday the 26th through to Friday the 8th of February, and a little bit of a change. We've got the above normal heights, the ridge has built back further westward, so our high shifts further west, comes in over here. We've got the lower heights down across the south of the UK, northern parts of France, so probably the tendency here is for low pressure areas to kind of just zip their way across the southern half of the UK, and probably what that does is it slices us in two. So the south is milder and wet, the north probably stays with cold northeasterly winds. You see, if you've got low pressure in here and we've got high pressure up here, then the winds are going to be flowing something like that around those two systems. So what we tend to find is that the southern half of the UK is in the milder air, the northern half of the UK is in the cooler air, but everywhere probably still cooler than normal for the time of year, and that's exactly what's backed up by the chart here. Don't forget, these are the mean temperatures from January 26th through to February the 8th, and surprise surprise, look, we're still in the blue colours but slightly warmer, around about a -1 to a -2 below normal. So cold air continues to affect the UK through much of the coming 4 weeks, according to the JMA. And just looking back at temperatures across Europe, look, we have to go to this side of the chart to have a look at temperatures across Europe, because the meridian is down here. And notice how week 1 very, very cold through Europe here, look, and cold too across the western states, but much milder across the eastern states. Week 2 staying cold across Europe, that cold sort of penetrating east into Russia, milder across the western states by then, but the cool transfers towards the east. And then into week 3 and 4, Europe still in the cold conditions, east of the US staying in the cool, the west of the US in the warm conditions. So we're not completely on our own with cold weather. And what's interesting about this is that the CFS also backs up these ideas of cool. You know, normally you just don't take one model, you look at all of them and you look at consistency over time, and that's what the JMA has been providing. And the CFS is kind of in there too. If you take a middle road of the CFS, this is the run from the 9th, so this was the run that came in from data supplied on Wednesday, and it uses a massive data to produce these forecasts. You've got to twist your head for this one. The British Isles is underneath here, and this is week 1, so this is taking us through to the 16th, so through to next Wednesday. Here the above normal heights up towards the north, with high pressure would be up there, low pressure down there, and that's our easterly in week 1, so we've got agreement there. Week 2, still above normal heights towards the north, low the normal heights down towards the south. High manages to get its way further south, so Scotland very cold and probably dry. South also cold and into wintry conditions. And then into weeks 3 and 4. Week 3 takes us through from the 24th to the 30th of January, and above normal heights up here towards the north, below normal heights look down towards the south. High does tend to pill away a little bit towards the north and the east, but we stay with this cool northeasterly flow, and the jet stream are much further south, kind of blowing through here. So south of the UK, according to the GFS, during that week probably getting some milder incursions coming through, which is exactly what the JMA said. For the majority of the northern 2/3 of the country, they're staying in cool conditions, and we need to watch for being wintry too. And then into week 4, well, look at this. It pulls away the ridge towards the east, and keeps our low pressure, yes, down over Europe with a jet stream through here. But again, look, it's pulling away, so we've got slightly milder conditions, although still cool, and unsettled conditions across the south. But what's interesting is the tie-up between this set of charts here and also the JMA week 3 and week 4 forecast that we saw. It's the comparison between the two that is so interesting. Look, with that ridge building, pulling away towards the west here, and the CFS doing virtually the same thing and pulling that away as well. So that's what makes this interesting, that we've got this good comparison between these two model runs. Okay, again, I could go on and on about these because it's fascinating the way these things have developed, but I just wanted to give you a flavour for what's there. Of course, private clients are seeing more information, but I just wanted to give you a feel for how that is. So, once again, thank you for watching weatherweb.net. We kept free of charge by the adverts here around the screen. Thanks for coming back and watching. Thanks for telling your friends. Follow us on Twitter at Weather School. We'll do a search on Facebook for Weather School too. Thanks for watching. Keep the sun shining, and bye for now.